This is a quick tour of the WordPress platform brought to you by Bricks and Mortar. If you have any questions about the WordPress content management system or what we can do for you with WordPress, just feel free to drop us an email, info@bricksandmortarweb.com, or you can visit our website, bricksandmortarweb.com. So let's dive in. I'm only going to go through a few of the features of this content management system, as they're always going to be different depending upon your needs. But we'll go through the things that are static. So first we're going to look at the posts. This is what's going to control your blog posts on your blog or whatever you choose to use the blog feature for. As you can see, these are all just sample posts as this site is still in development. But let's take a look at what it looks like to create a post. As you can see, the user interface is really simple, really easy to understand. Right here is where your title goes. It can be whatever you want it to be. As you can see here, we used WordPress resources at SiteGround. Next thing you'll see is your permalink. That gives you the actual link to the post, and it's good to use for SEO purposes if you know what you're doing. Next thing you'll see is the content box, where you have your text editor and your visual editor. The visual editor is for those who aren't familiar with HTML, who just want to be able to enter in text and style it with a bold button, a italic button, or enter any of these icons or simple editing of that nature. Whereas the text editor gives you the ability to use HTML. As you can see here, we used H3 tag. The next thing you can do is assign categories to your posts. So for instance, if you have several different topics you like to discuss within your blog, you can break them down into categories to allow people to subscribe or to view only the categories they're truly interested in, allowing them to engage more so with your content and your website. The next thing you can do is add tags, which are mainly for SEO purposes, and they allow you to add little notes or keywords to your post. So for instance, if your post was about tennis balls, you could add several tags in relation to the sport of tennis and to tennis balls and things of that nature. The next page I want to look at is the pages section of the content management system. You can see it's set up similarly to the blog posts, and where you have all of your pages laid out. Now let's take a look at one of them. Let's take a look at the contact page, just to keep it simple. You'll see that it has the same title setup as the blog posts, same content box with text and visual editor, permalinks. But over here we have some other options. So title and tagline, this is a custom development for this theme, as are the rest of these sections, but you can add them into yours if need be, or we can add in different ones that would have different functions. In this case, this one shows the page title at the top of the content area if we'd like it to, and it displays whatever is over here and in here. These are just little things to help improve the design of certain pages and make it so that your website doesn't look so static across the board, give you easy user interface to do so. Then when you're done creating, you just click update and your page is live, and you can either add it into your menu, which you would do through here, or you could set your menu to self-populate if you have that set up. But to go through menus, you can see here's your list of pages, and all you need to do to add a link into your menu is click one of the pages and click add to menu. It'll then bring that in here, and you can drag it wherever you'd like to organize your menu however you'd like. Since we already have our clients in here, we're just going to take that out though and remove it, save menu, and it's that simple. As you can see, this menu is set up to automatically add new top level pages to this menu. The next thing I want to look at is the editor, which is good for people who are comfortable and familiar with CSS and PHP. If you wanted to change up some of the styling of your site, maybe add some borders, maybe change a background color, maybe change the way that your fonts display from normal to bold, all you would need to do is come into your editor and you come right to your CSS file. No need to connect through FTP, no need to do any of that. You can come right in, right through the content management, and change your CSS. Personally, I would suggest always copying and pasting first into a blank document so that you don't lose any of your changes, but it's very simple to do and very easy to work with. The next section we're going to take a look at are the plugins. Now, plugins are little tools or programs that allow you to have greater functionality within the website. So for instance, a contact form. You can get a plugin for a contact form that would work as a widget. So all you need to do to get a plugin is go add new, and you just search for whatever you're looking for. Let's say you're looking for an SEO plugin. Wordpress will pull back all the plugins that have anything to do with SEO, and they rate them by stars, so you know what you're getting. So a 5-star plugin, WordPress SEO, that's probably a good one. You may want to try that out. So all we need to do to install it is install. Depending on the size, it could take a little bit of time, but never more than a minute or two. But anyways, once that's installed, it gives you the opportunity to activate, and now the plugin is installed. You can see it in your list of plugins, and here we have WordPress SEO. Let's allow tracking. Another option you have with the plugins are what I mentioned before, called widgets. What widgets are, as you can see here, are the same thing, little tools or pieces of code that you can drag into different content sections of your website. So let's say our sidebar on the firm and services page, we want to have, we already have this widget in there, which is a block of code, but let's say we also wanted to add a tag cloud in that sidebar. All we would need to do to add the tag cloud is drag the tag cloud widget into the sidebar, give it a title if we want, give it whatever taxonomy we would want, and we're good to go. That tag cloud is now going to populate on any page that uses that sidebar. Let's get rid of that though, since we don't need it. But as you can see, it's amazingly easy to add widgets both to your WordPress platform and to add them to different content sections of the website. The final thing I want to take a look at is the users. This is great for a number of reasons. First, it allows you to create users with different roles. So let's say we want to add, we have a blog and we want to add 5 blog writers for staff to be able to update content, but we don't want them to be able to change pages or to change core files like CSS or PHP files. What we would do, is create the login information as you see here, and then we can assign them different roles, either editor or author, depending on what we want them to do, or contributor, or if we just want them to have access to a certain piece of information or certain files, like a calendar, for instance. If you have people you keep on a calendar, you can give them subscriber access and they can log in and see that information. But basically, it gives you the opportunity to create a number of user roles with a number of different access levels to your website, allowing you to scale your site up if you need to add staff or add clients or give people access to the back end to do whatever you may need them to do. But it's very easy to do, and it emails them right away with their username and password. So anyways, that was a quick tour of the platform, but you got to see a lot of what it can do and a lot of what you can do with it. So if you have any more questions or you want to talk about a WordPress development for your website, feel free to drop us an email, as I mentioned before, info@bricksandmortarweb.com, or visit our website, bricksandmortarweb.com.